Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. We'd like to welcome you to this afternoon's presentation of Unfinished Business, the pregame debate, and it's presented by the National Blitz League. We have with us in the building today, Gopal Menon, National Master, AKA ProfessorDaddi, and joining him is Vishal, and say your last name for me.
Balyan.
Balyan. All right, both of these guys are going to be debating. Gopal is representing FIDE Master National Matthew Stevens, and Vishal is representing National Master Deepak. So we'd like to start off welcoming you guys. How are you guys doing this afternoon?
I'm doing pretty good. Just getting through, you know.
Excellent, excellent. So guys, we want to start off. The guys who you're representing, can you tell us a little bit, how do you know these gentlemen? And if you might have, like give us a little story, a backdrop on the player, so we can get to know them as a player.
So I met Deepak like when I was like first learning, like when I was like rated like around 500, and he used to come teach at my school. I was an 8th grader, and yeah, so we would play. Deepak would be giving me like 5-minute, 1-minute odds. This was like back in 2015 or like 2014, I think. And then after that, like I would just go to a lot of his tournaments that he used to host at Georgia Tech, and then I got to know him better, and then time went on, and then we went to the Georgia Tech chess club a lot. Like he went to Georgia Tech, like
what was the name of that chess club?
Georgia Tech chess club. Like he went to school at Georgia Tech, but I would come there sometimes, and then we'd play and have a bunch of people there. And then yeah, now Deepak and I are like pretty close friends, and yeah.
Oh man, so he was like a mentor to you. So you all have a special bond relationship.
Yeah.
Oh man, nice. And so you have an intimate knowledge of his game. Then.
Yeah, I do. We roomed at a bunch of chess tournaments, like Texas, Chicago, a bunch of places. We roomed together.
Oh wow, you guys are real close. Nice. So we're glad to have you represented. And so Gopal, how do you know Matthew?
I was actually his coach before, I'm sorry, I wouldn't say his coach. I was the coach of his high school team, Whitney Young High School. Yeah, under my tutelage, they won 2 state championships and a national championship.
Wow.
And so I spent a lot of time with him over 4 years, like a lot of time after school, like we would, go over like a lot of stuff. It must have been for hours over the years. And even before that, I had noticed him actually as a 1600 level player. He beat FIDE master Carl Bohr after like a really hot period, like when Carl was like, I believe like high 23s, low 2400s USCF, and Matthew was like a 16 or 1700, and he played just a super solid game and outplayed him. So that's when I first noticed him, and then I was very happy to see that he was coming to Whitney Young High School. And yeah, I really got to see him blossom as a player. So.
Oh man, so this is going to be an intimate debate, because it sounds like you are also have a nice special bond with Matthew Stevens, especially coaching into those nice accolades there. So you all both came prepared for this debate. We want to get right into it. Why do you feel your player is going to win tomorrow's matchup?
Vishal?
Okay, so like first things first, we just look at the ratings, and if we look at Deepak's ratings on live chess, his ratings are like much higher, like as of currently. Although Matthew has higher peaks on both, Deepak has been a more consistent player at his blitz and bullet ratings. And
can I pause you for a second? I'm sorry, I'm gonna pause you for a second. You said the ratings were, I saw 25-32 and 25-38. Are you saying 6 points gives him those 6 points gives him that much of an advantage?
No, I said like 25-32 is Deepak's bullet rating and 25-38 was his blitz. I'm saying those are higher, those are like close to like 70 to 80 points at least higher than Matthew's ratings.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah. And on top of that, Deepak has been studying chess like multiple hours a day because he's not working. He's just studying chess. And Matthew, I'm not sure what he's been up to.
Oh, wow. Man, so you're basically saying Matthew's not prepared for this match.
Yeah.
I like that. Very nice. Very nice. Personal attacks. Gopal, any kind of response to that?
Yeah, so okay. Let's see where to start. I mean, with regard to the lead chess ratings, I don't. I mean, you can kind of see how things can get very random in these matches, especially maybe if you're out of form. And again, this could apply to either player, but like, if you're gonna bleed some points, you're gonna bleed some points. Um, what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah. With regards to Matthew's bullet rating, like it had dropped a lot in recent time, but that was because he was playing like a lot of hyper bullet, I believe. Um, and as far like his ratings had dropped like a bit in Blitz as well. Still maintaining a pretty decent level, I would say. But again, he's berserking in a lot of these arenas. He's a total gamer, which is a factor I think that is in favor of him. And so, yeah, in view of that, like his ratings are very deceptive.
Interesting.
So there's that. And then also, first of all, like anybody who knows me knows I fancy myself as, somewhat of a openings theoretician. And I have to say, one thing that I noticed about Matthew was that, especially like in school, he when he was at Whitney Young High School, he was always very well prepared. He would always come to show me something interesting, and he'd always come with some interesting question to ask me, and it just kind of showed like his desire to seek the truth and really get to the bottom of things. And yeah, I mean, he's got a very at his best game, he's got a very sound, solid, orthodox kind of repertoire. And I think that's a big, important thing in his favor. There are not a lot of gimmicks in his game.
Interesting. Very nice response. So Vishal, Gopal said that the reason the rating difference is there is because of the arenas, and Matthew Stephen is been berserking and doing hyperbullet. Are you buying that?
I mean, you can be berserking, but in a cage match, I don't see any berserking going on. So it'll be a little tough if you're just like getting used to playing fast, and then you're trying to play fast, but there's no such thing as berserk in cage matches. So I guess you have to adapt to that as well, which if Matthew's been berserking a lot, he might be more prone to playing faster rather than playing his best chess.
So are you saying that Matthew's not accurate?
No, Matt, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that although his ratings might be lower and he's berserking a lot, like that just doesn't mean that he has an edge like on the ratings.
Now, Vishal, would it surprise you to know that Matthew's highest bullet rating was 2729? Does that scare you?
No, that doesn't scare me. That was probably I think in 2019, like the end of 2019, if I remember correctly, and that's when Matthew was still like studying chess, like with like some friends at his university and stuff. And I think Deepak has a highest bullet rating of like 2706, which is a little more current within the last 3 or 4 months, I think. So I think he's a little bit more prepared. Although Matthew is slightly faster, I think Deepak has the edge on the board.
All right, nice points. So Gopal, basically, Vishal is saying that even though Matthew Stevens searches for the truth, he hasn't searched for the truth in quite some time. Do you think that Matthew is prepared and ready for this match?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, it's I haven't really kept up with his latest whereabouts, and I'm sure Vishal would get that impression. I know both of them are active in the trash talk chat from what I hear. I'm not in it, but that's just it's against his character. Like, I mean, he will have something ready, and whether or not it works out is a different thing, but like he does his homework. If he has something to prepare for, like this is different than any arena, like you said. With regard to like the berserking comment, of course he's not going to berserk, but he may also be playing other games on other handles, but that's neither here nor there. but if he has something to prepare for, he gets ready. Like I remember when the high school nationals was coming up. It was last year actually. You know, the seniors ended very nicely, and like that was partly because Matthew did a lot of homework before that tournament, and he came out with a whole bunch of new ideas. Like some of them I wasn't even aware he was cooking up, you know. So very independent thinker and capable of doing his homework. And as far as this quarantine's concerned, you know, it's kind of forced a lot of us, kind of myself included, to do a bit more chess homework than we all thought we would have been doing at this time.
Excellent. Nice. Very good. So far, gentlemen, you guys have been representing your players very well. But now we need to get a little bit more serious. In the cage match, it's a different story. I've been in there, and the lights are on. The match is grueling. Who has the better mental fortitude to be able to withstand a 21-game match like this? Vishal, let's start with you.
I mean, as far as I know, like Deepak has streamed chess for a few hours multiple times, and he's been under the spotlight many times. Like there was Georgia State Blitz Championship happened like multiple times. He was like playing top board or like top 3 boards. Like there's a lot of spectators there. It's that tournament I think was also 20 Blitz games. 20 Blitz games was the exact tournament, and this is 21 games total. So this is only 10 Blitz and 11 Bullet. That was like 20 Blitz games. So I mean, as far as the stamina and endurance goes, like I think he has a pretty good shot on that. And with regards to being under the spotlight, I'm sure like he's been under the spotlight at many tournaments and in general online as well.
Wow, that's amazing. Does that put Matthew at a disadvantage, Gopal?
Not really. I mean, I think both players like they're pretty young. I don't know exactly how close in age they are. Maybe like within 9 years, 8-9 years, they're within each other. Both in like pretty decent shape. So I don't really think stamina would be such an issue. Deepak, of course, being a great player in his own right, plays fantastic.
So he's a greater player than Matthew? Is that what you're saying? I'm trying to understand.
No, I don't think so. I just think we haven't really seen the evolved form of Matthew. You know, Deepak he's been on the scene like for a while, and he had and like he's played so many like tournaments out of state, and a very experienced player, I would say. But you know, Matthew, like you have somebody who's very hungry, very ambitious, and like we really started to see a lot of his best chess last year. From a lot of high school, he was like kind of stuck in the 2200s, and I was kind of wondering, like, you know, does he have what it takes to cross like the 2300s? And he actually did that with like in great style, like, you know, Chicago Open, national, you know, he
That's
got
true.
national championship, and like he was like briefly higher rated than me for a second.
Wow.
Which would, you know, of course, it's a very proud moment actually for any like. I mean, I wouldn't call myself his coach again, but I did work with him a lot.
That's awesome.
And so like you know, in the last year he had been in the spotlight several times. Like he had a wonderful Chicago Open, in a national championship, like I mentioned. The state high school championship too was very good. And so yeah, I don't think really being in the spotlight is an issue for him.
All right,
for
good.
either player for that matter.
All right, we've got to wrap it up, guys, but we got a few more questions. Which player is more prone to tilt?
I don't think Deepak gets tilted very much. I guess like it's more he's prone to tilt if he loses to like a low rated, not to someone of Matthew's caliber though.
So he views himself as superior to Matthew, so he's not going to tilt against someone like
No,
Matthew.
I think it's not that. I think he respects Matthew as like as a strong chess player. Like they've played like numerous blitz and bullet games in Georgia. Like Matthew and Deepak and I have been like, Matthew goes to Emory, so Georgia, and what do you call it? Deepak lives in Georgia, so we meet, play a bunch of blitz bullet games a lot, and like I think they respect each other as players. So I don't think one of them would get tilted or be prone to tilt if they lose to the other player.
Is that your answer too, Gopal? Who do you think is more prone to tilt?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if this was like a few years ago, I would definitely say Matthew. But I mean, you know, Vishal, like, has spent a lot of time with him, you know, in the, like, I would say maybe in the last, like, 6 months more than I have, at least. And yeah, I mean, he's definitely, like, matured a lot as a person. Like, I've, like, to see somebody grow throughout high school, it's kind of an interesting experience. And, like, you know, definitely seen his game, and his personality mature a lot over the last, you know, during the 4 years that we spent together.
Well, guys, based on your comments, it sounds like this is going to be a great match. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see the slugfest. Matthew seems to have a reserved disposition, whereas Deepak seems to be kind of fiery. So we're going to see how it all plays out tomorrow night. Now, before we let you guys go, we need predictions. Vishal, let's start with you. What do you think it's going to be?
Like the overall prediction?
Yeah.
I think,
or you could give us a breakdown, blitz, and then bullet.
So
and then
I think in the blitz, Deepak will win. Maybe there's 10 games of blitz.
11.
11. So yeah, so I think I'd expect the score to be like either like 6.5 to whatever, 6.5 Deepak wins, or like maybe 7-4 Deepak wins. But the bullet will be like slightly tougher for him because Matthew's a super fast player. But overall, I think Deepak will win the match around 11-10 or 11.5 to 9.5.
Nice. All right. Good night. So it's going to be a nice close match. What about you, Gopal? We'd like to hear your prediction.
Well, I mean, as far as chess content is concerned, it's a very interesting match. Like, you know, both players are very reserved, like, I would say personality wise, at least until you get to know them a little bit better. But you know, Matthew, like I said, is a very orthodox, proper style. He prepares like a lot of very solid openings, and Deepak too. He prepares a lot of openings with a solid style, but with kind of an unorthodox touch. He's a big exponent like of the Stonewall Dutch and certain lines of the French that really aren't mainstream. So kind of a player who feels very comfortable in murky positions, good at fighting a lot of unclear battles. So I expect a rich match in terms of chess content. And as far as prediction goes, I don't know if I have an actual score, but
don't be afraid, Gopal. Don't be afraid.
Okay, but here we go. Here it is. I predict the first double overtime match.
What?
In National Blitz League history. Exactly.
Wow.
3-game bullet tiebreaker. The first one is going to end in a tie, and I honestly, I mean, because Matthew's my boy, I guess I'll say Matthew by 1 in the second overtime.
A double overtime tiebreaker. Man, this is going to be great. I can't wait to see what actually happens. This is going to be phenomenal. Well, let me say this, gentlemen. You guys were great. You guys represented the players very well. I think both of them would be proud. We look forward to it. Let's look and give everybody the details. We're going to have FIDE Master Matthew Stevens versus National Master Deepak Aaron. It'll be tomorrow, Friday, June 19th at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Again, that's tomorrow night, June 19th, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Commentary by the Jedi, James Canty. National Master James Canty will be streaming live on the National Blitz League's Twitch page, which is www.twitch.tv/National Blitz League. Again, that's twitch.tv/National Blitz League. We're looking forward to having everybody in the house tonight, tomorrow night, and it's going to be a great match. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
All right, take care.